Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's theGameconomist here, and today I'll be taking a look at the Tractor Cannon Shotgun. This is a new exotic in Destiny 2. It's a very unique weapon. You can tell it's kind of been designed based on the gravity gun from Half-Life 2, and basically for this one, the exotic perk is that it knocks your opponent away. And it can actually do gravity damage, and when I say gravity damage, like they hit a rock or something like that, and they'll actually when they impact on the rock, it'll deal damage to them. You know what I'm talking about, like when you jump too far. You could, of course, try to knock an opponent off the map, but I tried to do that, and realistically, that is so unreliable because there's very rare situations where you're going to be able to do that, and it's never like the important situations. So, when we talk about knocking your opponent away, it's just kind of an odd perk that is very niche. It doesn't help that much, in my opinion. Then, when we talk about the damage on this shotgun, it looks like Bungie was thinking, well, if they one-shot their opponent, they won't get to see their opponent go flying. So they didn't make this a high-impact shotgun. And then at the same time, it only gets a magazine of 4. So, yeah, this is kind of a weak weapon. I'm going to come out and say it there. It clearly needs a buff. If I was Bungie, I would buff definitely how far it knocks back the opponent. Something strong like the Phalanx shield so that they can actually like hit a rock and get one-shotted. Because if you're using a good shotgun, 90% of the time you're going to shoot them and one-shot them anyways. Why shouldn't you be allowed to one-shot them with tractor cannon? That would just be, that would just make it even with the other shotguns. It wouldn't even make it special. Now, there were some good things about this weapon. Primarily, I noticed it has a large hitbox. The little round reticle in the front, the crosshair, doesn't really represent the hitbox on each of the projectiles. It's pretty big. Like, it'll hit opponents that are pretty far to your left and your right. So, yeah, the bad is not enough damage, not enough ammo. It doesn't always deal gravity damage. And, oh man, I was testing it on majors and ultras. I believe it does push majors, not very far. And then ultras, it doesn't push at all. So ultras and bosses, completely unaffected by the exotic perk. And it's just like, well then why even have this be an exotic? You know what I mean? Like, if this is an exotic that doesn't affect bosses, is basically trash. That sounds harsh, but it's true. Like, can you even imagine playing the hard raid where every little bit you have to be super efficient, you have to be super effective and consistent, and the biggest perk on this weapon is entirely pointless in the hard raid. So you would basically just use it to show off to your friends, maybe. I don't know. Maybe what would be fun is if they added like a little football or soccer game, and you could use the tractor cannon to knock the ball around. That would be cool. But yeah, but for the hard raid, no deal. Don't touch it. Get yourself a good shotgun, or better yet, probably it's going to be dominated by sniper rifles. I'm just guessing. Like maybe if you had like a raid boss that isn't affected by crit damage, you probably see fusion rifles over snipers depending on the range from the boss. But at this point, it's looking like snipers are going to be the power weapon of choice for the raid. And but we'll see. We'll see. Wouldn't it be something if the tractor cannon became the most important weapon for the raid, right? Like the next Galahorn. But probably not. Probably not. Not what based on what I was seeing. It does look really cool, and I think it's really neat that Bungie's trying out new things like this. It's a very unique weapon. I do just hope that they give it a little more for the magazine. Let it hold 6. I think that wouldn't make it overpowered. It's an exotic gun, let it be exotic, let it be powerful. And then the knockback too. It almost feels like Bungie's afraid to let it be too strong. But yeah, I would say not strong enough right now. Let it knock opponents back really hard and kill them by knocking them into a wall. And that would be the most effective use. Because trying to knock them off the map, it's just never going to happen. Especially in something like Crucible, you'll never knock anyone off the map. You just don't play in those areas. I mean, there might be like a really, really, really rare situation, and somebody will probably capture footage of it and upload it to YouTube, and everyone will get a good laugh. But what you don't know is 99% of the time that player is getting wrecked by a regular shotgun that just deals more damage and has better range, right? So, okay, well, you know my opinion of it now, and I hope you do get to try it out. Hope it drops for you. And let me know how you feel about it. Of course, I do think Bungie will probably buff this, and when it does, I'll have another look at it.